Good morning. Morning. Trust everybody is good. It's the 7th of March, 2022, and we are on the morning drive. The morning drive is a self-development initiative. The morning drive is a mindset augmentation discussion. Good morning, Salo. Good morning. And this morning, I actually want to discuss a structured life. And I want to have an episode on transitioning between employment and self-generated wealth. The two things are not the same. The two things don't have the same demands on a person's time and a person's energy. There are heavy demands in employment, but to an extent. So in employment, you tend to do specific things. You tend to do them repeatedly. Your time is accounted for by the tasks you do. And yeah, your employer normally sets out things that will occupy your time. So I am still a full-time teacher. And as a full-time teacher, I am supposed to teach a certain number of lessons on timetable. Those number of lessons take some time to plan. They take some time to execute, and they take some time to evaluate, for me to mark and put data in, blah, blah, blah. All these things take time. And this is what my employer pays for. And yeah, my employer definitely will demand a return for their buck expected. The Silver, good morning everybody. The same me is hoping to break free of this employment cycle. The same me understands that long term I cannot continue to do this employment alone. I've got to prospect. I've got to do something else. I've got to set up for myself. I've got to liberate myself. I've got to work for my freedom. I get it. And so that's a Nino size good morning. I've got to work for my freedom. But in order to work for my freedom, funnily enough, you will have to invest some time and effort. And this weekend is one of those that epitomizes what I'm describing exactly. So I went to work, finished work on Friday. By that time, employment had sucked out of me as much as it could do. But in terms of employment, that weekend was actually for me to come recoup and recover, so that by today, Monday morning, when I was going to work, I would be rejuvenated. I'd have had time to sleep and to relax and to, if I wanted to stay in this employment cycle, that's exactly what I should have done. But because I expect to liberate at some point, I've got to work for the liberation. The weekend was actually spent liberating myself in so many different ways. I went to the expo. I combined work and pleasure. When you can do that, that's great. I went to Comic-Con, which was responsibility combined with pleasure. That was parental responsibility combined with pleasure. But yesterday, the Sunday, was purely for financial liberation in the morning. I spent from 8:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon working on something I expect to make my main source of income in the coming few months. And because I want that to become my main source of income, it's got to be my main source of investment of time. So I am investing some time learning some modules and completing activities in these modules. I am spending some time in analyzing the feedback from some of these modules, taking action on some of the things that the module wants me to take action on. I am spending some of the time meeting with tutors, meeting with mentors and coaches, so that I can understand the strategy well and I can execute. I've had to move you guys to a different position, and in this position, in fact, you are not actually much in my line of vision. So It's a little bit of a monologue, and when I park the car, I will respond to the comments that you've put on. But good morning, welcome. Thank you for joining, and hopefully those of you who asked me the question will be on, if not live, later to pick an answer for it. Amma, why do you work at that pace? Because I want freedom. It's as simple as that. Why wouldn't you take a weekend to sleep? Because I want freedom. Freedom is not something you get for free. Freedom is something you work for. It is a funny thing, but that's how it is. You have to work for your freedom. Any freedom you want to enjoy in the future must be invested into in the present, so that what you invest in right now will liberate you later. Very simple. I want to be able to make it to the stage as a speaker, and no, I do want to be a paid speaker, and yes, I do want the high ticket gigs. In order for me to qualify to do that, I've got to be a competent speaker, and so I've got to train myself properly. Yeah, I will have to invest some money in acquiring the training I need as a speaker. I've got to invest some energy in completing the activities that will train me as a speaker. I've got to invest some time for the conduction of these activities. I've got to invest some feelings, some emotions. I've got to invest some dreams in this. I've got to invest some will in this. And all these things are demanding. Of course they are demanding. However, if I am able to do this and do this successfully, the reward is that I should be able to do a few gigs a week and ease off. I should be able to turn up and speak at a few events a month and still make about how much I make right now talking full-time in a classroom, because the pay ticket for an event speaker, a competent event speaker, is significantly higher than the pay ticket for a classroom grade teacher. It's that simple. Even the same person as a state grade speaker will earn significantly more than the same person as a classroom grade teacher. So I want to invest, and I want to get to the high ticket, and that's why I am striving. Very simple. I want to ask you a question. A lot of you I talk to also want to transition. But do you understand that transitioning is a difficult phase? When you are transitioning, it's harder than each of the other stages because you actually serve two masters. You have to continue to spend your energy serving your employer, your master. But you have to, in an increment, serve yourself, your new master. When all this is done, when the cookie has crumbled, when you have transitioned and you've gone across as a self-employed person, a self-generated wealth person, you are still your own boss. Whatever happens, you are a boss. You have a master to serve. And in transition, you actually serve two in tandem, which is challenging because sometimes the demands of the two masters conflict. So this morning, the demands of my two masters have conflicted. I spent a heavy weekend investing in the new master, which is me. But the old master is also waiting to be served with a long list of things to do. And because a lot of my time and energy was focused on serving the new master over the weekend, I am not as rested as I should be. And so going off to go serve the old master is going to be more challenging than usual. I've just got to learn that in transition, that's what happens. No need to come cry over this one. No need. No need to make noise. And no, I'm not crying to anybody. I'm just soldiering on because I understand it's a process. There is no need to discourage myself unnecessarily. when I know that this is how it works. And so for those of you who ask me why I don't complain, that's the simple answer. I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know the gains that I stand to make. I want the gains, and so I put in the work. Very simple. I put in the work. Today is also the beginning of Fight for Health Club. We are starting cycle 1 today. I will send the grocery lists and the food guides to those of you who signed up. And this evening we will start our first exercise. Regardless of all of it, I've got to maintain shape and well-being. So that has got to fit here in the program somehow. If you are somebody who has health problems, and your health problems could be improved by an improved lifestyle, come join me. If you've got any of these long-standing health conditions which are lifestyle induced, come join me. If it's as simple as you being overweight and struggling to manage and control your weight, come join me. I am the eternal yo-yoer, me. If you are struggling to keep focus on a diet regime you've been giving, come join me. If you need to learn the new psychology of food, come join me. And let's work together. We eat to nourish and to survive. We don't eat just to get a taste in the mouth for a few minutes. That's one of the things that causes many of the problems that I observe with people. And yeah, I was the same. We eat to nourish. We eat to nourish the body. Eat to provide the nutrients your body needs. We don't always satisfy the instant gratification of the delicious taste in the mouth. That's what starts the sugar addiction in the first place. And the plethora of problems that brings. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. So let's do it this way. If you are in this category, if you need a little bit of health coaching, would like a guide to walk you through, if you will want somebody to curate the exercises and bring the exercises on board, and you simply do it with me, come join me. If you just need a community, if you need a community of people who would cheer you up, who will cheer you on, who will encourage you, then great. That's what I'm doing. You can join me on that journey, and let's get some outcomes on the table together. For some people, it will be keeping diabetes away or reversing a diabetic journey which has already started. For some of you, it would be to control and make sure you don't become hypertensive. For some of you, it might be to regulate your weight, keep your BMI in check. Many things can be achieved in this simple lifestyle change. It is mainly about changing what you eat and how you eat it. Mainly about what you eat and how you eat it. And also about how you exercise and use that energy you've taken on board. If you understand fiber content and glycemic load, the way you plan your meals and how you cook your food is totally different. So that's what I'll be doing on that project. Come and join me. But today, I just wanted to explain the challenge of serving multiple partners and the discipline it takes to be able to transition between masters. Challenge of serving multiple masters and the discipline needed to service multiple masters in transition. those of you who are lucky and you've got money and can make a break like that, you just get up one day, resign from your job, go start something else. You're good. You guys are good. No need to serve multiple masters. It's those of us who don't have the cash injection to invest. But sometimes it's not just about cash. Sometimes it's just about timing. Sometimes it might be like me right now. I still have to remain in my job because that's my research location. And yeah, that research is important to me. So I've got to stay and get it done. But for me, the actual reason is multiple things. Yes, the money is important. I need the money right now to continue to sustain the life I have built right now and to keep things ticking until I am able to build an alternative life. Till I get an alternative life. This is it. And it's got to be kept ticking. So yeah, it's good to invest in your future and to worry about what kind of pensions you've got in place, blah blah blah. Make sure that there is a good income generation system in place. I will have a session on income generation systems as a standalone. I will go through some things you can do to make money even whilst you are employed by somebody else. Some things you can do to make money in between. Some things you can do to make some money on the side, and how you can grow and upskill those things to take the place of your main source of income and transition across. That's the ultimate idea on the topic I discussed. Good morning anyway. I hope you are well. It's wonderful to have you. Those of you who are asking about the competitions are all a part of my strategy of developing, transitioning from just somebody who speaks in an outreach on social media to become somebody who speaks professionally. In order to speak professionally, people have got to know you. And there are some established places where people compete to get the accolade of a speaker and to get the certification that goes with it, to get the publicity that goes with it. So to get the accolades and to get the publicity that goes with it, you will have to invest in the competition. When you win a competition, you can put down and say, hey, I am the winner of this category of speech. So I am a good speaker in that category. I was a winner in such a thing, which is validity as your ability to do that kind of thing. And yeah, it will sound to you that something as simple as speaking should just be you turn up and tell people I can speak, hey, hire me, let me speak. No, it doesn't work like that. In order for people to believe that they are paying for the right skill in hiring you, you've got to demonstrate some things that evidences that you've got the qualifications and you've got the experience to do so. And one of the best things to do is your certification, your winning certification in particular. I'm putting it out there for those of you starting on these journeys. Yep, certification always important. That's one thing majority of my people don't like to do. You think it's just a nuisance, but it's not. It is more than just a nuisance. It is a vital part of the credibility that you want to build as you go along on such a journey. Depending on what you do, there will be different competitions that you can engage with, different organizations that will have programs that you can subject yourself to. Different things that you can use to help establish your name. And it's good on Facebook that you guys know me on Facebook. It's wonderful that you guys watch my videos. It's amazing. It's unbelievable that I still manage to find people who want to watch me and my nonsense. But it's even better that you find yourself in organizations where you compete and people can vouch for you and your ability. Champion one, none of it. So yesterday I met this girl and she's like, such a body told me about you. Okay. Yeah. She said you were very good. So I'm like, yeah, she said you were my competition. I'm like, okay. So we competed. I won one. She won one. We both go to the next stage. But I've made an ally. Made somebody who is now a sparring partner. I've made somebody I can invite to events. I've made a few connections of people I can start collaborating with. Initially, might not organize a speaking gig on my own. I might actually do it in collaboration with some of these guys, and you find some of these guys easier if you are in groups where people have the same idea. Trying to find partners on Facebook is a challenge because you guys have different interests. Going to a speaker group to find people who want to go with me and establish a speaking program or to have an event, easier, because everybody there likes to speak. Everybody else has a similar ambition. Everybody else has a similar aim, and it makes it easier. Does that make sense? Well, I hope it does. Anyway, it's Monday morning after a solid weekend of heavy investment in self and the physical effect it has on the body. So I am now still recovering from the weekend whilst the week has started. It's a funny position to find myself. So I'm off to go and start serving my master, so that when I'm done, I am in a good position to serve my new master. Have a good day, everybody, and we will meet on my drive back to discuss this extensively in the home language.